Yo, what's going on, you beautiful people? In today's video, we're going to be talking about avatars and personas and how to actually know your customer, which can allow you to make a lot more money with your e-commerce brands and projects. So what's the problem? Well, most operators guess at their avatar. They waste money on the wrong audience. You're creating ads for who you think buys and not who actually buys. So in this video, we're going to be kind of breaking all of this down a little bit, and I'm going to just give you guys the exact framework that I like to use when approaching understanding my demographic and understanding who I need to cater my marketing to. The very first thing that we're going to be talking about here is the solution, right? So we talked about the problem. The solution is data-driven avatar building that we then take and literally directly feed into AI to be able to do all of the heavy lifting with copy, building landing pages, ads, etc. Different story, different time. Today we're talking about actually understanding your customers. First and foremost, you need to analyze actual customer data and not make assumptions. One of the biggest mistakes I see that people make, especially really early on, is they're just like, oh, I think that my customer is this person and that I need to talk to them in this way. And that's wrong. If you're not actually using data to back your marketing, you're doing it wrong, and your customers are not going to feel spoken to. And you have to have them feel spoken to in order for them to convert. Cool. So what are ways you can do this? One of my favorite is going to be surveying. Now you can survey people that have just purchased your product. You can survey people who are about to purchase or are considering to purchase and are just prospects on your website. I'm going to dive into both of these and actually have in-depth pieces of content that are completely free on both of these topics that I'll go ahead and link. But yeah, basically for surveying recent purchasers and recent buyers, the easiest way you can approach this is really just running, creating the survey, whether it's with Typeform that I'll show you guys here today, or whether that's with a Google form, or whether there's so many ways you can run a survey. But basically having an email blast to all of your previous customers saying, hey, we're trying to collect data. We would love if you could take 5 minutes to fill out this survey. We'll give you $10 in return. You'd be surprised at how many people are actually super down to do this. As I mentioned, there's an in-depth video here on my ecom live channel that you can check out completely for free. You just click on the link, it'll take you here. This is a Loom video I actually sent over to my team as we were setting up this survey. So you can see exactly what questions we asked. This ended up getting us a bunch of super valuable data on our customers. The second method here is talking to them and getting data before they actually purchase. This is especially valuable to understand hesitations and objections that your customers have. This can allow you then to actually create content, whether it's content on your website, content that you're running as an ad, that's going to handle these objections and be able to put your customer's mind at ease in order for them to actually make the purchasing decision. Just like the other one, there's a free piece of content on my Ecom Live channel that goes into how to exactly set up surveys. We like to use Hotjar for this as it's super simple. But again, there's many other ways that you can approach it. Let's keep going down this list. Checking customer support tickets to understand what questions your customers have. Now, before I go further down this list, what I want you guys to do is actually open up a Google Doc, just an empty Google Doc, that you're going to start to actually paste dump this stuff in. If you guys want to actually see what mine looks like, if you ask really nicely, if you shoot me a DM on Instagram, I might send it to you. But it does not need to be pretty. You just want to have one spot that you are literally pasting all of this data in, right? We're trying to build essentially a master research document that then we can toss into Claude, we can toss into ChatGPT, whatever you prefer to use, and we can actually do some fun stuff with it. But before that, we actually have to put it together. Yeah, and you're going to want to just, as we collect this data line by line, right, just paste it in, paste that raw data in. Does not need to be pretty again. Checking customer support tickets, what questions your customers have, putting those questions in there. Social media comments. This is so slept on. You can literally look through social media comments about your product as well as all of your competition, as well as the entire market that you're selling to, right? In my case, I'm selling personalized jewelry to dog moms, right? And I can go and I don't need to look at other people that are selling personalized jewelry to dog moms. I need to look at other people that are in the exact same market. Now, who I am selling to with my brand, I'm selling to people who are buying gifts, right? So I can identify, okay, what does content that people who are interested in buying gifts look like? What do they consume? And then I can go through those comments to better understand the minds of people that are gift givers, right? So you can, hopefully that makes sense. You can kind of go way outside of necessarily the specific product that you're trying to sell to be able to understand the market that you're trying to sell to, okay? How do they describe your product? Yeah, ties directly in with social media comments on your end. Amazon reviews, another super slept on one. You can directly go to competitors that are direct competitors, or again, competitors that are selling to the same demographic of people, to the same group of people, I should say, and ask yourself, what can you learn from that? What are things that they liked? What are things that they disliked? What are the problems that they had? All of this is super important. Just going directly through the reviews on different products is a really easy way to do this. If you guys would like a separate piece of content on this, just comment down below, make an Amazon review diving video or something like that, and I can make it happen for you. Cool. Let's keep going down this list because we are not done. Beyond demographics, I want to talk about demographics versus psychographics, because I haven't heard about this term in a minute. I can almost guarantee most people do not even know what the fuck it means. And I think it's super important to distinguish between how demographics tell you who your demographic, who your customer is, and psychographics tell you why your customer might be purchasing your product. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. Just going to take a quick sip. Okay, so like I mentioned, demographics are the who, right? So let's break that down. Age, income, location, marital status. This might be females that are between the age of 25 to 35, right? With an income of whatnot, right? That's demo. That's like the definition of demo, right? If we're talking about psychographics, this is your why. This is the values people have. This is the fears people have. This is the motivators people have. Example, right? Fear might be the fear of being judged by somebody else, the fear of falling behind. Motivation might be wanting to feel confident, wanting to save time. Values might be they value family time. They might value looking put together. So demographics would be woman 25 to 35. Psychographics would be targeting busy moms who want to feel confident without spending hours getting ready. Hopefully that makes sense. How do you extract psychographics from your demographic? Well, we talked about a few of them already. Post-purchase surveys, you can ask something along the lines of what was going through your mind before you bought. You can also interview directly your customers and ask them what would happen if this problem wasn't solved, to get kind of that fear response out of them. You can also directly ask them to describe the problem in their own words, to hear what language do they use when describing the problem, when describing the solution. Oftentimes, 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, there's going to be specific wording that is used that if you simply switch the copy that you're using in your ads and on your website to that wording, that it can literally be miles in difference, in improvement in your conversion rate, in your click-through rate, etc. Cool. So hopefully that makes sense, the difference of the two. I also want to dive into pain points versus desired outcomes. So pain points, that's pretty much what they want to avoid. Might be wasting money on products that don't work, might be looking unprofessional in video calls, might be spending 2 hours getting ready every morning, right? These are things that they want to avoid. Desired outcomes, these are things that they want to achieve. Maybe it's feeling confident in 10 minutes, getting compliments from friends, look effortlessly put together. All of these are different outcomes that your demographic might wish to achieve. And why does this matter? You might be wondering, which is a great question. And the answer is the pain-focused ads, they're two different types of creative, right? It's different emotional triggers, but the same customer. So you can essentially have different types of content. One being pain-focused, saying, stop wasting hours on your morning routine. The other one, which might be outcome focused, might say something along the lines of get ready in 10 minutes and feel amazing, right? So hopefully that makes sense. It's different emotional triggers that hit that same customer. And being able to understand these from the data that you have available of your demographic is going to allow you to craft content and copy that is going to convert better than the content and copy that you currently have going on. We already touched on some of the research methods, but again, Amazon reviews, what problems are they mentioning in the reviews? What results do they want? Reddit and forum searches absolutely slept on. A lot of people will be like, I wish there was a way to ... Like there'll be these massive Reddit threads that you can read through and just get direct inject knowledge on your demographic and what they're trying to achieve. Moving forward, where does your demographic, where do your customers consume content versus where do they hang out? And I'd want to distinguish the difference between the two here. So where they consume content is going to be the actual place that the consumption is happening. This might be YouTube, this might be Instagram, this might be TikTok, this might be Pinterest. And where they hang out, this is going to be the communities that they hang out in. This might be Facebook mom groups, right? This might be Reddit communities. This might be Discord servers. This might be text group chats. The difference, again, content consumption is where you want to actually run your ads. So as you understand where they consume content, you want to run ads to where they're consuming the content. And then the hangout locations is where you want to seed products and essentially build community in. That's another hack where you can actually directly utilize those communities to extract data from. And again, this all ties nicely together. It allows you to understand your customers better because you can directly speak to them in the communities that you build. Last bullet point here is going to be on the language that they use. Again, this is really every single space, every single demo is going to have certain lingo, even if it's super slight, that they use. It might be more formal, might be more casual, might be specifics. Identify what those are and drop them in the fucking research doc, dude. And again, put all of this in that area and you're going to be able to then use that to do some cool stuff with it. Like I mentioned here. Cool. Moving forward. Validation process. So test ad copy using their exact language, run polls in communities where they exist in, where you funnel them in, and A/B test different avatar assumptions. Track which messaging converts the highest for you. You can do this directly with your ads if you're split testing this in your ad account. You can also get this data directly if you're using a split testing tool like Shoplift or like IntelliGems or any of the other billion ones that exist out there, and put more ad spend towards the shit that works. Like that's as simple as I can put it. If you're interested to work one-on-one with myself, you can check out the SaaS that I'm building, Ecom Live. It's like a raw ecom education place where I'm chucking in just me working on my brand. And I have 2 more spots available for one-on-one mentorships. This is direct one-on-one access to myself at the current price. I am continuing to increase it as more people join in for obvious reasons, so I can continue to spend one-on-one time with everybody. So if you're interested in that, feel free to hop over to ecomlive.com/pricing. If not, no worries. Hopefully this was beneficial, and I will catch you later. I'll also drop this in the bio so you guys can have access. Peace.